Welcome to the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Saturday, September 17th. This is Gina McGuire. Over the next several days, we won't see any significant impacts to fire potential. We will see some gusty winds over parts of Idaho and Wyoming over the next couple of days, and also gusty winds spreading further south by early in the week. However, we will see precipitation increasing, along with cooler temperatures and higher relative humidity, especially in the north. In the meantime, we'll see generally dry conditions for Nevada and Utah and the Arizona Strip as we go into the next couple of days. Over the last 24 hours, we've only seen a few light showers across the far north, with dry conditions elsewhere in the basin. We've only seen light initial attack, with only a few small fires reported across Idaho and to parts of Utah. Over the last 7 to 30 days, the image on the left shows the last 7 days accumulated precipitation, and obviously we have seen a cooler, wet system that brought some significant precipitation to parts of central and northern Nevada that hadn't seen much precipitation recently, and also some precip was reported across mostly Idaho into Wyoming and the northern half of Utah. And over the last 30 days, we've seen this similar pattern with precipitation again in the last 7 days in the north. However, over the last month, most of that precipitation was focused over the far southern portion of the Great Basin. How this now corresponds to our current ERCs across the area. With the cooler wet weather we saw recently, all ERCs took a sharp decline across the area, but have been increasing due to the drier weather over parts of the far western and northern side of the Great Basin that did not see as much precipitation as areas further east and south. So we still are seeing some areas that are above the 80th percentile for ERCs. Looking at our water vapor satellite loop for this morning, we have an area of low pressure near the southern California coast and another low approaching the northwest coast, and this area in the north will bring us our gusty winds to Idaho, along with increasing moisture for Idaho and Wyoming over the next couple of days. However, this area of low pressure over southern California will eventually bring moisture up from the south to parts of southern and eastern sides of the Great Basin as we get into Tuesday and the middle of next week. As we move through next week and approach Tuesday, we'll see increasing moisture from the south over the southern half of the Great Basin, bringing thunderstorms and better chances of wetting rains to parts of Utah, the Arizona Strip, and southern Nevada. We may see more drier, breezy conditions over the western and northern side of the Great Basin on Tuesday, but still generally low to moderate fire potential across the region, with the main drier areas being over western and northwest Nevada. On Wednesday, we already see the response to that moisture that's moved up from the south. decreasing fire potential across the Arizona Strip in Utah and into southern Nevada, and even into parts of eastern Nevada. We will see showers and thunderstorms increase on Wednesday over the eastern half of Nevada up into Idaho and possibly even northwest Utah. So again, this will be moderating our fuel conditions again as we go towards midweek. As we move into Thursday and Friday, this area of low pressure drops further south, which will bring cooler temperatures to most of the Great Basin, and areas over the northern half to two-thirds of the region will see temperatures now, again, at least 10 degrees or more below normal. And still on Thursday, we have plenty of moisture in place for scattered showers and thunderstorms across the northern two-thirds of the region. And you can see in the image on the right how fire potential has decreased by mid to late week in really all areas. Even over parts of western and northwest Nevada, these areas may not see as much precipitation, however they will at least see cooler temperatures and higher humidity. As we move into Friday, the low starts to track further east over the eastern side of the basin, with the better chances for showers and thunderstorms again over the eastern half of the region, with still generally low fire potential. Looking at our overall forecast amount of precipitation, the best chances for wetting rains will be over the eastern half to two-thirds of the Great Basin, where we could still see some very good rainfall amounts over eastern Nevada up into eventually northern Utah, in areas that didn't see as much precipitation in the last round of cooler temperatures and precipitation that moved through the basin. However, still over far western and northwest areas, we may see some lighter amounts, but not quite as much as we'll see further east. As we look at the later conditions towards the end of September, we still may see some warmer, drier conditions on the western side of the Great Basin, but these cooler temperatures in the far north still indicate those cold fronts dropping down, again bringing us at least cooler temperatures and higher humidity, along with some gusty winds. That concludes our briefing for today. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us. Thank you for listening.